time. I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years.
Nothing has brought me greater joy than watching the Walt Disney Company absolutely panic over the last few weeks. They're mad at South Park because they're making fun of their woke ideologies, constantly race swapping or religion swapping everything in their movie.
They didn't just mock her, they torched her. When South Park unleashed its brutal satire on Rachel Zegler and Disney's already flailing Snow White remake, the internet didn't just respond, it exploded. What began as a controversial casting choice had already sparked backlash, but once the animated powerhouse joined the fray, that slow simmer turned into a raging inferno. The episode held nothing back, it mocked, parodied, and amplified every criticism fans had been shouting into the void for months.
One major development going on now involves more to do with Rachel Zegler and her attitude towards South Park Studios and Paramount after learning about what they are planning for their upcoming special called the DEI Special.
Zegler's name rocketed to the top of trending charts within hours. Memes took over timelines. Clips were shared, dissected, remixed over and over. Some people laughed, others cringed, but everyone had an opinion, whether they backed the remake or couldn't stand it. The parody didn't just mock Rachel, it weaponized her own words, twisting interviews and sound bites into comedic grenades that blew up across the internet.
The last time I had the dream, I was walking down this school hallway. And that's when I started to notice that something's wrong. Everyone I cared about has been systematically replaced. And finally I want to scream and I'm like, why are they replacing every single character with someone who is diverse?
And just like that, what was supposed to be Disney's next big fairy tale spiraled into a full-blown pop culture catastrophe. The moment South Park aired its scathing takedown, the chaos went viral fast. What followed was a PR disaster wrapped in biting satire. Rachel Zegler wasn't just depicted as a misinformed actress. In South Park's upcoming DI special, a sequel to their infamous Pandaverse episode, she was turned into a full-on caricature pulled straight from the noisiest corners of online outrage. Subtle? Not even close. The animated Rachel storms onto sets, hijacks scenes, and launches into over-the-top monologues about how the original Snow White is a harmful relic that needs rewriting.
Even if everything worked perfectly, it would have been almost impossible for this movie to succeed, because you're comparing it to one of the most beloved films of all time and a truly groundbreaking movie.
She wasn't just dismissive, she was militant. Shouting over her co-stars, rolling her eyes at script suggestions, launching into long-winded monologues about equity and rewriting the fairy tale to reflect what she called modern salvation through progress. Every time someone else tried to speak, she cut them off, insisting she was the only one bold enough to challenge toxic nostalgia. She scoffed at the original Snow White, calling it toxic trash, dismissing anything that even hinted at romance or tradition. The brilliance of the parody wasn't just in how absurd it was how closely it echoed things Rachel had actually said in real interviews. Her animated version, while clearly exaggerated, didn't feel completely fictional. It felt uncomfortably familiar. As she stormed through the sketch, acting like she alone could rescue society, the rest of the room, from fictional Disney execs to cartoon co-stars, just cringed, caught between speaking up or getting steamrolled next.